Okay, so how many of us are actually still keeping up with those big car care resolutions we made back in January?
Yeah.
My TikTok feed was full of car cleaning hacks and DIYs.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be the year my car's going to be perfect.
Yeah, it's a classic New Year's resolution, isn't it? All that excitement for a fresh start,
Right.
and then a couple of weeks later, we're back to our old habits.
Exactly. But I get it. Life gets in the way. And let's be real. Some of those TikTok trends were a bit much,
Oh, yeah.
even for the biggest car enthusiast, like who's actually got time to detail their car every single week.
Yeah, you got to find that balance between wanting the perfect car and what you can actually manage.
Totally. So what were some of the most popular car resolutions we saw on TikTok in January?
Well, one of the big ones was keeping up with basic maintenance.
Okay.
Checking the oil, tire pressure fluids.
Uh-huh.
Good advice, of course.
Yeah.
But it's easy to forget when you're rushing in the morning.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I should check my oil. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow never comes.
And then there was all the DIY stuff. TikTok made everything look so easy.
Like changing wipers. Or even a battery.
Yeah.
This is where things get interesting.
Yay.
Some of those DIY videos are super useful and empowering.
Definitely.
But I saw some that made me cringe a little. Like using hot water to defrost your windshield
Oh, yeah.
or trying to fix your engine without knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, those are things you definitely shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Pouring hot water on a frozen windshield can crack it
Really?
because of that sudden temperature change.
Oh, wow.
And engine repairs, well, unless you really know what you're doing and have the right tools, it's best to leave that to the professionals.
Makes sense.
You could end up making things worse, and it can get expensive.
So TikTok can be great for learning basic car stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to be careful. Not everything you see online is safe or accurate.
Absolutely. Always double check anything that seems iffy with a mechanic or someone who knows cars.
Good advice.
Uh,
Okay, so we've established that February is when those January resolutions start to fade.
yeah.
But don't worry, it's never too late to get back on track with good car care habits.
That's right.
So where do we even begin?
I think one of the best things you can do is simplify. Keep it manageable. Instead of trying to do everything at once, pick one thing you can actually stick with.
I like that. Small steps, big impact.
Exactly.
What would be a good example of a small but effective car care goal?
Something like checking your tire pressure once a month.
Okay.
It only takes a few minutes, and it can make a huge difference in how your car drives.
Right?
It can even save you money on gas and help your tires last longer.
And you can easily add that to your routine. Like every time you fill up your tank, check the tire pressure too.
Exactly. Little habits like that are key to staying on top of car maintenance.
Without getting overwhelmed.
Right.
So we're not talking about becoming expert mechanics overnight. It's about those small, consistent things that add up.
Exactly. And TikTok can be a really useful tool to help you stay motivated.
Oh, really? I'm curious. How can we use TikTok for good without getting lost in all the crazy trends and bad advice?
Well, instead of just scrolling through, be more deliberate about who you follow.
Okay.
Look for mechanics and experts who give good practical tips.
Uh-huh.
And don't be afraid to use that save feature to bookmark videos you want to go back to.
So like make your own little car care library on TikTok.
Exactly. You can have a whole collection of helpful videos right there on your phone.
I'm already feeling more in control of my car care.
Yeah.
But let's be real, some things can still be pretty daunting,
Yeah.
even for people who like DIY.
Yeah.
Is it ever okay to admit defeat and call a professional?
Of course. There's no shame in knowing your limits, especially when it comes to something complicated or anything that could be dangerous.
Right.
And if it's a big repair or something with the safety systems, it's always better to be safe than sorry.
And sometimes it's just nice to have that peace of mind,
Absolutely.
knowing that a mechanic has checked everything thoroughly.
It's all about finding that balance between doing it yourself and knowing when to ask for help.
So maybe we won't have that perfectly spotless TikTok-worthy car all the time.
Right.
But we can at least try to be informed and proactive car owners.
Exactly. And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. You're always learning when it comes to cars.
That's true.
And TikTok can be a fun way to learn.
I'm excited to dig into some of those helpful TikTok trends and see how we can actually use them.
Yeah.
But first, we want to hear from you. What's one car care habit you've actually stuck with thanks to TikTok? Share your wins in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know. One thing that really stood out to me about those TikTok car care resolutions was all the focus on preventative maintenance.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. It's not just about fixing things when they break, but actually trying to stop them from breaking in the first place.
Right.
Kind of like going to the dentist for checkups, even if your teeth don't hurt.
Exactly. And TikTok makes those preventative things seem kind of fun. You see those videos of people cleaning their engines and protecting their dashboards and checking their tires.
Hmm.
It makes you want to do it too.
Totally. It's like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. But honestly, some of those DIY projects can be a little scary.
Oh, yeah.
When do you know it's time to call a professional?
I think it depends on a few things. How comfortable you feel with it, how complicated the job is, and what could happen if you mess it up. Like
Right.
changing your air filter. That's a pretty easy DIY.
Okay.
It can save you money, and you feel good doing it yourself.
I saw tons of TikToks about that. It seems easy enough if you know where the air filter is and what kind to buy.
Exactly. But something like replacing your brake pads, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, that sounds more complicated.
Brakes are super important for safety.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So if you're not 100% sure you can do it right, it's better to let a mechanic handle it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's about knowing what you're capable of and when it's time to get help.
And even if you don't want to do certain repairs yourself, TikTok can still teach you a lot about how your car works
Oh, that's true?
and what to watch out for if something seems off.
So you could be a smarter car owner,
Mm,
even if you're not the one fixing it.
exactly.
Hmm.
The more you know about your car, the better you can take care of it.
Okay, so we talked about preventative maintenance and DIY repairs,
Right.
but there's another big part of car care that TikTok doesn't always cover. Driving habits.
Ah, yes. The human element. You
Yeah.
can keep your car in perfect shape mechanically,
Hmm.
but if you're driving like a maniac slamming on the brakes all the time,
Yeah,
you're still going to wear it down.
that's so true. I'm totally guilty of hard braking, especially when someone cuts me off.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But those sudden stops and starts, they put a lot of stress on your car.
Really? Like what parts?
You brakes your tires, even your transmission.
Wow, I didn't realize it affected so much.
It all adds up. So being a good driver isn't just about being polite. It's about taking care of your car, too.
That's a good point. I never thought of it like that.
And you know what's interesting? I've seen some TikTokers using data to show how bad driving habits actually cost you more money.
Oh, wow. Now what I want to see, it's one thing to be told to drive smoothly,
Right.
but it's another to see how much money you're wasting by not doing it.
Exactly. It helps you understand the real impact of how you drive.
So it's not just about knowing how to take care of your car. It's about being a better driver overall.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be boring. There are some TikTok creators who make driving tips actually fun.
Really? Like what?
I saw one who made a video about parallel parking.
Okay.
They called it the 10 Commandments of Parallel Parking.
Uh-huh. I love that.
It was so funny with all these dramatic scenes and music.
See, that's how you make learning fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes just seeing those relatable car moments on TikTok,
Yeah.
the fails, the funny encounters, it reminds us to chill out a little when we're driving.
Because at the end of the day, driving should be enjoyable.
Right. Absolutely. It's about finding that balance between being responsible and having fun. And TikTok can be a great place for both.
So we talked about preventative maintenance, DIY repairs, and driving habits.
Mm.
What other car care tips have you found on TikTok?
One trend I thought was both useful and kind of cool was all the car emergency kits.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those. People packing their cars with everything.
Jumper cables, first aid kits, tools,
They're
blankets.
getting ready for the apocalypse.
Right. But there's something to be said for being prepared, especially if you're driving in the middle of nowhere or when the weather is bad.
Totally. You never know what could happen. And it doesn't have to be some crazy huge kit.
Right.
Just having a few basic things can make a difference if you get stuck.
Exactly. And TikTok shows you what those essential things are and how to use them.
So you feel more confident dealing with little emergencies.
And it's not just about the stuff in the kit.
Okay.
I've seen people on TikTok talking about the importance of having a plan.
Oh, like knowing what to do.
Yeah, knowing who to call for help and staying calm if something happens.
That's where TikTok is really good. Connecting practical tips with the human side of things.
Exactly. It's not just about the stuff, it's about the mindset.
I like that. So if you're scrolling through TikTok and you see a car tip that seems too good to be true, how do you know if it's legit or just hype?
Well, first of all, trust your gut. If it seems sketchy or dangerous, it probably is.
Okay.
Always do your research check with other sources, and remember, safety is always the most important thing.
Good advice.
Yeah?
So be smart.
Oh,
Don't just blindly follow every trend.
exactly. Even if you're not a car expert, you can still learn a lot on TikTok
Yeah.
about taking care of your car and being a better driver.
And who knows, maybe you'll discover you actually enjoy working on your car.
You never know. TikTok can lead you to some unexpected places.
So keep scrolling, but use your head before you try anything crazy or dangerous.
Car care should be fun and empowering, not stressful or risky.
Well said. Now we want to hear from you. What's the best car care tip you've learned from TikTok? Or maybe you have a story about a trend that went wrong. Tell us in the comments below. It's kind of wild how TikTok has become this place for car people.
Right. It's not just about the little tips and tricks anymore. It's
Yeah.
like people sharing their car stories, connecting with other car fans, and even showing off some pretty amazing car stuff.
Yeah, I've seen it all. Crazy road trip videos, hilarious carpool karaoke, and people restoring these classic cars.
It's just like its own little world, and it's cool to see how much people love cars and how creative they get with it on TikTok.
Yeah, and it's not just the slashy stuff either. I've seen some really sweet videos of people helping each other out on the road,
Oh, yeah.
like changing a flat tire for someone they don't even know or giving someone a jump start.
Those are awesome. It just shows you there's still that good feeling of helping each other out, even online.
And we can't forget all the stuff you can learn on TikTok. I've learned so much from watching those mechanics and car experts.
Oh, me too. It's like having a free car class right there on your phone.
Exactly. Okay, so we talked about the useful stuff on TikTok, but let's be real. Some of it is just pure entertainment.
Oh, totally. Those car fails never get old. And those before and after car cleaning videos?
Ugh, so satisfying.
Right. And then there are those videos that make you just want to get in your car and drive.
Yeah, windows down, music up.
TikTok really captures that feeling of freedom you get when you're driving.
So even if we're not all mechanics or car experts, we can still appreciate how cool cars are.
Totally. And TikTok lets us share that with other people who feel the same way.
It's been fun talking about cars and TikTok with you today.
Yeah, I had a good time. It's amazing how TikTok has changed the way we think about cars.
And we hope you learned some new things and got some good ideas.
If you liked this deep dive into cars and TikTok, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new episodes.
We've got a lot more car stuff to talk about, and we always love hearing your questions and comments.
So until next time, drive safe, everyone.
And may your TikTok feeds be full of good car tips and awesome car adventures.